Sure did. What's up, Marshall? What's the 441? Huh? Peace, love, and all that goodness for y'all on the playback. See if we can get some people in here on the live, man. Look, we calibrating out here in the sunlight. And that's the topic of the conversation today. We're gonna deal with the elements, y'all. So the external elements are putting a lot of pressure on Tiamat, on Turtle Island. The pressure is purifying the spirit of Mother Earth, you feel me? So this purification process is important for us to all be in alignment. So it's Martian Moon Day. On moon days, you got an emotional reservoir that you need to tap into. And that emotional reservoir will guide you through the rest of the week. So Sunday, we set it off at the beginning of the week. And you want to harness all of that energy, positivity, and creation for the rest of the week. So going into today, Monday, Moon Day, I call it Martian Moon Day because the energy kind of takes you off of Earth. You know how you don't want to go to work on Monday? You be like, man, fuck this, I ain't doing nothing. Or you go to school, you be like, fuck, I ain't doing nothing. That's the Moon Day energy that you kind of dealing with. So Martian Moon Days, you just kind of want to deal with yourself internally. Even if you got to go somewhere external, just keep yourself on an internal realm so that you're not getting pulled into other people's emotional fields. You feel what I'm saying? Because while we're calibrating through this hot heat, now this heat different, right? This heat different. So we're calibrating through this heat, and it's important that we get acquainted with this new energy because spirits come in cycles, right? So if the sun is just I ain't gonna say out of nowhere, but since 2020 it's been heating up, and 2025 has been pretty hot. We've been getting record highs every summer around this time, you know, preceding the dog days, if you will. Jason months, 8/8, Lionsgate, all this energy is ancestral. And the purification process is important during these moments because we're going through a heart activation. That's the Leo energy, the 8/8 portal. And people talk about it a lot in the past years. And I would beg to say that this year is a very different year because we're dealing with 889. So that's the numbers. That's the three peat of numbers that we're dealing with. 88 and then 9. 9 for 2025. You add all that up, that's 9. So we're dealing with a concentrated ending with the heart chakra. So the heart chakra is putting away old vices, putting away old friends, putting away old family, old loved ones, because Leo does rule the heart and all the love signatures do require loyalty from Leo. So you're dealing with Leo, and Leo is how do I say it? It's having a finite adjustment to its aura because Leo deals with pineal gland activation, right? Crown chakra activation. So you're looking at the buildup of a phoenix rising from the ashes. This is the old tried and true example of when a underdog catches flight, right? So when the underdog catches flight, you're looking at fire, brimstone, all that stuff on the settlement of the earth because it was purified, purification process, you feel me? So the purification process is lifting us chosen into the air, and it's exposing truths that is keeping us in flight and off of the burning floor that is lava. You know how the kids play the floor is lava? That's what we're dealing with right now. The purification process is here for the earth, and that's the plain and simple, easiest reason for our sunlight, our heat. and you looking at volcanoes about to pull up in Yellowstone. Yeah, that's the seagulls. They talking, they know what's going on. But you're looking at Yellowstone, dealing with the volcanoes, and there's a whole lot of other places. I don't really be keeping up. I just know the frequency, and I know that there will be 3D events that precede and align with this energy. You feel me? So do the research and then let me know what's going on out there, because I just heard of a few just in passing, but it just lets me know that we're writing exactly where the frequency is telling us where. You feel me? All you gotta do is pay attention to the frequency and not what people say, and then you'll be cool. Hey, look, I like how this brown skin turning on my face, man. I'm looking like an Ethiopian. Look, I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now, family. No bullshit though, man. What we're really needing to do, it's important that we're keeping a level head through these times, because the love frequency is important to gather our ashe, to gather our energy, inner chi. But we also want to be, what is the other key? Oh, calibrating to this hot heat, to these finite pressures. The calibration is important. So it's important to get outside. And spirit, literally, I got a bunch of sunshades, right? Spirit literally threw away all my sunshades. And I had one pair of Ray-Bans, and I looked at them, and I threw them joints in the trash, man. Spirit was like, man, throw all them sunshades in the trash, because we need the sunlight activation in the eye line. You feel me? The eye line needs the activation of the sun so that it can go up into that pineal gland, because that is one access point that is allowing energy to flow into that pineal. You feel me? You also got the prana that's going up into your mouth and your nose, that's filling the airwaves with fresh, new etheric resonance. So get outside, y'all, 2 or 3 times a day if you can stand it. But you want to work out in some of the hot portions of the day when it's super hot. Right now it's cooled down, but I was out here earlier. I was getting my workout in. I got my run in, my burpees, and my sparring in, and then I did a little bit of did a little bit of meditation, and that was my alignment for the day. But what you want to be able to do is start to calibrate the body through these ultraviolet times, because ultraviolet beams are coming out of that sunlight. You know what I mean? So rays that are not visible by the eye, but they are received by the avatar, the hair, you know, that type of stuff when your avatar, the hair, you know, that type of stuff when your body is what gathers the energy, your hair. So let your hair breathe into the sunlight, breathe into the etheric realm, allow it to gather intel, information, and find out, you know, what's going on in the ethers that people may not be talking about, because people talk about a lot of stuff online, right? But when it comes to the truth, you'll never know what the truth really is until you start to put the dots together and then sit with that information on your own, and you're able to qualify it as a truth or qualify it as a, you know what I mean, resonance that is officially useful. So Spirit Crow Call, we out here today. It's not gonna be long, y'all. I'm just tapping in, sending the energy, sending the love, making sure we all have an idea of what's going on. Because if you're listening to me, I won't steer you wrong, and I'm not the guru of it all, but I've been through so much foolishness. I've done so many things that qualify my wisdom, and I'm just here and willing, ready to, you know what I mean, share it. I'm looking to share it. So tap in with me. I know astrology charts. Y'all need some help with your astrology. You need to find out your destiny. You want to read your chart and kind of get an idea of what's going on in there. Some people have no idea what their chart is. Some people know what their first 3 or 4 signs are. So it's levels to this, and astrology is not just some on the whim study for you to learn in a year and then you're good. This is a lifelong study because it requires you to study who you are, who yourself is as a energetic being and not just a person that works at Starbucks. You know what I mean? So you want to look at that astrology chart. Look at your numerology. You want to go through those different things. And then you want to see what's going on. I'm going to start writing a few pamphlets on astrology. That way they can be little 5-6 page manuals that can walk us through how to resonate, you know what I mean, with the astrology that we're dealing with. Sometimes it's a little bit confusing because it's so much inside of an astrology chart, but it's important to just start with the basics. Start with your sun, your moon, and rising. Those 3 will get you a long ways. You know what I mean? Once you kind of calibrate it or learn what that is, figure out what your next order of operation is. What type of aspects or where is your sun, moon, and rising in the astrology houses. But that's important for this future. We're going to find out that astrology is going to be like religion. You know what I mean? It's already coming back. It's making its way back into the mainstream. You go to the bookstore and they got a bunch of astrology books on bullshit. Really, it ain't even worth it. But the fact that the energy is being spread again, modern astrology is kind of what I'm into. So they have ancient, and they have ritualistic, and then they have all this different stuff that comes from old times. But I'm very, very sure that the most original astrology cannot be the most updated. Do you feel what I'm saying? It's like going through astrology or going to your phone and getting the old update and then thinking you're still going to get the same new activities that you're able to enjoy. It's not going to happen. So, sidereal and Vedic astrologers, I love y'all, but I think it's a little outdated, and that it does have a place. It's a system, but that type of system is becoming outdated. You know what I mean? I don't know if we're all on the same page with that, but we need to find modern ways to use this energy because as new things are created, new ideals are created, new ideas are created, the energy sector is expanding. That's Jupiter. Jupiter never stops expanding. So the more spiritual knowledge, more physical, mental knowledge that you gain, all of that triangles into an expansion of wealth. That triangle is Gemini, and the expansion is Jupiter. That sector right there is what you use to experience growth. You feel me? You want to learn something new, travel through the Gemini Sagittarius house. You feel me? Yeah, dig. What's up, man? How y'all living, man? They trying to block the sun out with the clouds, man. What's going on, man? You think they're gonna do that? Sun will be back in a minute. All I gotta do is smile hard enough and that joint gonna breeze through. You feel me? So these spirit crow calls been going well. You know what I mean? I've been calling out and I've been getting feedback. I've been getting resonance. I've been getting people that are star seeds and tribe quality. You know what I mean? Kindred spirits that I know that I've been around in past lives, or I have a very, very close connection to in the spirit realm, and we are down here in the togetherness. So it's been great that I've been able to kind of tap in with this crow call. You know what I mean? We might not do this crow call forever, of course, or maybe not even the next week, but who knows? But the crow call was just to get the initiation going, to get us into the mode, to get me into the mode, get me into the space where people see that I am calling out for the tribe, y'all. So where y'all at, family? You know what I mean? We building a team, we building a tribe, we building a whole new world, and the regime is going to need people of all types, all walks, all colors, all creeds. And we just want to congregate as chosen earth angels. We want to rebuild, renew this earth, and regain the structure of this upside down world. So as we regain our mind, as we regain our willpower, as we regain our kundalini, as we build our energy, we're realizing and remembering. You feel me? Hey, look, 3 jet skis just rolled out. Now, metaphysically, that's 3 of wands, right? That's like you've made it to a destination, but you still got a lot ways to go, right? The 3 of wands is proud that they've made it to a certain spot, certain space, but it's important that you consider the continued journey. You feel me? The continued journey is going to require you to make some plans, put some stuff together, and then you'll be in the 4 of wands, celebration, homecoming. So stay focused, chosen. We made it, y'all. We still in the trench. And for a lot of us, we will be for the rest of the summer. But, man, 2026 is going to be a beautiful year, y'all. We're looking at the fall time, 2025. A lot of things falling apart now, and it's going to be brilliant, beautiful holiday season, right? But we just waiting on Mardi Gras. We waiting on Turtle Island to be free, so we all just be on the island like boom, boom, pow. There we go. You see that sunlight coming back. Let me get back over here. I told you all we had to do was talk a little spill. Look at that. Talk a little spill, the sun will come right back, you feel? Yeah, we the gods, man. Look, y'all think I'm bullshit. We the gods, man. Come on, man. Sun back out like what, nigga? So, we all online. We all realizing our potential. We're all coming online. Now, if you're a hater, you're not even on this transmission, but the haters, they having a hard time right now. They're trying to save face. And we all know what's the deal. So we don't even pay them no mind right now. We're looking at the sunlight. We're looking at the moon exposure, because now this moon cycle, instead of concealing, right, they're exposing truth, because the sun and the moon are in tandem. However, the sun moves, the moon moves, and they both do the same thing. So if we just dealt with this new moon in Leo energy, right? So leaving the moon in Leo energy, it's an exposure of the visible light. The visible light is then now exposing the truth on the earth. You feel what I'm saying? So you're looking at lunar exposure being activated by this solar cycle. Follow me? So with this sun cycle and involving yourself in the ascension of it, because this is an ascension process. The sun is ascending. So involving yourself in the ascension process will align you for portal energy, because you have to enter a portal to gain access to that frequency. And if you do not go outside, which is quote unquote entering and staying outside for this sunlight to activate your body, then you're going to be dealing with, you know what I mean? Whatever, who knows? But take a walk, y'all. Y'all be peace. Y'all be love. Sunlight loves us. The earth loves us. Our earth angels, y'all doing an amazing job. I was in the meditation last night, and then also another previous vision, but I've seen multiple times that my ancestors are just chilling on Turtle Island. It's like the episode of Troy, you know, the movie Troy, when all the ships are washing up on the shore and they're about to start the war or engage in the war. Except this time, the war is won, and we're just gaining access to our shit again. And we're all perched up on the beach, and you can just look for miles and miles and miles on the shore, and you can just see all of our Aboriginal, melanated and non-melanated, because we're not the only ones just because you're dark-skinned to be original people. But all walks who are original people were in this meditation. I had my personal team and family on a certain part of the island. It was dope. It was love. So it just showed me that we are accessing a new space of continuum. And a new space of continuum is going to require new radical ideas, new radical mindsets, and to be able to calibrate this forward thinking amongst a nation, right? So it's important to Jupiter and Mercury, Gemini and Sagittarius, to stay on that sector when it comes to expansion. We're realizing the expansion levels, and it's giving us more access and more reach. So Spirit was telling me also that you want to stay grounded. You want your 10 toes to stay on the ground, but you want your hands to stretch to the sky. And you want to stretch into a giant so that your reach can reach to the firmament, and you can see above all illusions specifically. So I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. Y'all be peace. Love.